music is so intense, right? Welcome to a special New Year's Eve edition of Tuesday Morning Quarterback, and we have our favorite sports guy, JB, here to sort of guide us through the big sports stories. And I don't think there's anything bigger than what's happening with the NFL and the wild card matchups we now know.
It's that time of the year, as my producer Alvin Patrick likes to say. It's the second season. The teams that have weathered the storm through the regular season. And if I could quickly say, there are probably three phases that teams have to weather through. One, the first 4 games, coaches are getting to learn what their teams can do. Then there are the middle 8 games where you're just trying to navigate the murky waters. And then the final 4, you're hoping to have some momentum as you head to the second season. So that's where we are now.
Okay, that is where we are. So let us look at some of the matchups. And I know they got some graphics to put up for us. Let's start with the AFC.
Okay.
Right? What do we got there?
So in the AFC, one of the matchups we'll have is a 3-6 matchup. We've got, we'll take a look at what they've got here. So the first seed, now the Ravens, and of course, they have a bye, so they will not play the first weekend at all, along with Kansas City. But these are the squads that are playing right now. So you've got the Titans, Tennessee, taking on New England. That's a 3 and a 6 matchup. The Titans have a coach, Mike Vrabel, who was a coach under Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's mentees have done very well against him. So that's going to be a pretty intense game there. Tom Brady and company, they lack a lot of the weapons, but they are still a very competitive team. But I like the tenacity of the Titans and their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, one of the big stories in the year. And they've got a powerful running back from Alabama by the name of Derrick Henry. So then we take a look at the Bills and the Texans. That's going to be an interesting matchup. 2 prototypical quarterbacks, the Bills with Josh Allen and the Texans with Deshaun Watson, very gifted quarterbacks.
Yeah. So then looking to the NFC, what do we see? Green Bay Packers and San Francisco 49ers.
Wow. San Francisco and Green Bay, they get first-round buys, so that's good. They get to rest some healthy players, and that's an easier route. Yes, indeed. But now in terms of the matchups coming off of the late game last night, we've got the Vikings and the Saints. And again, I shared with you before, the Saints, after being an egregious non-call against them last year, they are marching towards the Super Bowl with a very talented team led by the Hall of Famer to be Drew Brees, taking on the Vikings. Their quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook is the running back with Minnesota. He's injured, so we'll see how that plays out. And then you've got the Seahawks, who lost a heartbreaker last night in Seattle to San Francisco. They'll be taking on your Eagles, who are banged up, but Carson Wentz, the quarterback, is carrying that team on his back, and he's letting people know why he was such a highly revered quarterback. Yeah, I know, because but he's got to still, he's like, I know that it may be too much to ask for another Super Bowl, but I think that's kind of the pressure that is on his back. He doesn't want to sort of always be in the shadow of the other quarterback that actually got us, Nick Foles. But you know what? But he is the more gifted of the two, and what he has done has just been remarkable, and that's what people want. It is still a team game, but Carson Wentz is showing his worth and his mettle, and he's done phenomenally.
All right, I like how that sounds. I like how that sounds. All right, college football championship game is set. 2 Tigers face off. Clemson Tigers of the Atlantic Coast Conference and the LSU Tigers of the Southeastern Conference. What are we looking for?
Contrasting styles, a juggernaut of an offense with LSU against a very talented defense of Clemson, who are, by the way, they are the defending national champions. If they were to go through and win, they will have won 3 national champions, or 2 in the last 3 years. But they can also play offense. But LSU, essentially, it's a home game. Their offense is phenomenal. It will be a tough call for them.
And finally, the Associated Press has awarded its Athlete of the Decade.
Very deserving.
And no surprises here. We've got LeBron James for Male Athlete of the Decade and Serena Williams. I think everyone knows about their accomplishments in sport. When I read these 2 names, 2 things came to mind. A, they're still pretty young. I mean, they're in their 30s. And then I thought about their impact outside of sports. It's beyond almost what they've done within the sport.
I would agree with you 1,000%. LeBron at age 35, Serena at age 38, they're remarkable.
Happy birthday, LeBron, by the way.
And LeBron has been playing since he left high school in the NBA, 17 years. He's done it all without drilling down into the granular. But I love what you're saying. Very community focused. He's got the school that he started back in his home area back there in Akron, Ohio, to ensure kids get an education. What's more important than that? Serena has battled injuries and still at 38 is the prima donna in the world of tennis. But what she's done off the tennis court as well, too, is just as remarkable as what LeBron has done. But both of them share the characteristic of being able to speak truth to power when it comes to social justice, and there are voices that are needed to be heard.
Yeah, and so even beyond the sport, we'll be hearing from them for decades and decades to come.
Absolutely, and responsible voices at that. Yeah. They both are. Yes, ma'am.
Yep. JB, thank you so much.
No, you helped me. Thank you and we'll try to make sure that the music isn't as intense coming in.
I heard you on that. It gets me pumped, gets the blood pumping.
You talk to Alvin and Sharon.
I feel like an athlete when it's, like I'm about to run onto the field with you. By the way, Happy New Year.
Same to you. Absolutely, Anne-Marie. Okay.